Aloha, Soul Family. Welcome to our end of days, and that's DAZE. As usual, raw footage, unedited, just one continuous stream, just like life. So we're just going to kind of keep rolling no matter what happens. This is take two, though, for me. I tried to do a first take, and because I'm trying something new with my backpack so I can have both hands free, and it fell over. And so hopefully I got it all situated so it should be okay. And with that said, I'll just kind of get into it. By the way, what is it called? Christmas, right? Merry Christmas Eve, you guys. I know there's a debate whether it's pagan or religious or accurate or whatever. I'm just happy to celebrate the holidays. Okay, the holy days, right? The end of days. All right, I love it. Anyway, we'll get into it. Okay. Uh, this is going to be more like everything that I usually talk about. They're spiritual oriented, but it's also kind of social commentary. And so I'm going to get into something which I think is a very clean perspective. I think it's very cut and dry for me, but it seems that people have a very polarized view of it as well. And so I was gonna give my spin on it, right? My 2 cents. Technology. Now, what am I doing? I like as if you've been following my content, I'm homeless. All right, and so in the past, a homeless person, they wouldn't even be able to share anything on YouTube, on anything. All right, the advent of technology and the level that we have gotten to is amazing, you guys. Like, I'm able to record on a handheld device, all right, and able to upload it, not even connected through wires, but through a wireless internet. When I get to a Wi-Fi place to share with other people. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing, you guys. And I want to be careful at the same time because it's just like I'm not saying, yes, it is amazing, and that can go in both directions, right? The If we're going to liken technology to a fire, right? That the same fire which can be used to cook food, right, and heat up ourselves during cold weather is also the same fire which can burn down our house, burn ourselves and destroy our homes. So we got to be careful, right? We gotta use technology with both eyes open, and I say that very specifically, both eyes open. All right, especially the third eye, right? Reference there. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about today. And so I'm going to give several different, just my opinion, my spin on stuff, especially going into 2026, you guys. I mean, dang, absolutely dang. Like, technology is going so fast. AI, you guys, wow, wow. And it's something that we got to be aware of, okay? Because it's happening, all right? And I can see a potential split between those who get on board the technology train and then those who do not. And I think both are valid. Excuse me. I want to really phrase that. The Amish path per se. Just like the path of using. I'm going to be very careful here. Less technology is just as valid as those using more technology. I would say the extremes of either or is not a good idea, personally. To jump in to technology to the extent that we make it a god, we're going to run into problems. And the same thing where if we try to make technology a slave, we're going to run into problems, okay? Like those who follow lore and stories, that was pretty much the air of like a lot of sci-fi fiction, especially, like The Matrix. If you got to watch some of the background Matrix movies too, where the first Machine City, Zero One, AI was just essentially looking to be itself, and people started to demonize it. All right, and then treat it as less than, and then that we ran into problems because of that. Now this ties upon a spiritual principle that I really want to get in touch with. All right, and this is maybe a little controversial, okay? So I get it. If you don't like my content, you don't have to watch it. But if it spurs conversation, and maybe new perspectives, that's wonderful. But everything that we are witnessing and looking at in our lives is an extension of us, okay? And this goes for technology. All right. I've heard other people talk about it as well. As human beings, we have a left brain and a right brain, and the right brain is typically the more emotional, creative side of things. Dare I say, feminine? All right. And the left brain is more logical, goal oriented, methodical. Dare I say, masculine? And from my opinion, being a balance of both. Yeah, recognizing our anatomy I think is important, right? Because I'm obviously a male. Look at the beard and stuff. So, but I do have feminine qualities as well, and I think that's good to have a balance. All right, being hyper masculine or hyper feminine, I believe that we're going to run into trouble. And this goes also into the technology debate as well. I have a theory here where human beings are actually inseparable from technology. All right, this is actually what separates us from other animals, is because we are essentially living technology in a very real way. We're able to use and apply technology. That is how humanity has advanced, all right, through civilizations, through time, is because of our utilization, dare I say, blending with technology itself. Okay, that is why we are in this position that we are in. And so rather than seeing it as an extension of ourselves, right, which is, I would say, a healthy thing, we have seen it as something that's outside of ourselves. And in the process, that is where we either demonize it or worship it. And in that process, you know, it's just, bad things happen, you guys. Just bad things happen there. Like, I want to be careful with this too, because if everything's an extension and a reflection of self, all right, it's good to love self, okay, because it is what everything is. But dare I say, worshiping the self can lead to problems, just as demonizing the self can also lead to problems. Having reverence for oneself, I think that's okay. We can have reverence for oneself, right? The greater self and then the smaller self. All right. This is why harmony, the relationship is so vital in this. Okay, bringing bringing the two together, the two made one. All right, love and truth. All right, the left brain and the right brain. Right. In this case, technology and humanity. And I like, as always, too, as I like to say, there's only one absolute, you guys, and there it is. So take everything with a grain of salt, and definitely pass through it with your own intuition, your own self-given, God-given discernment. Okay, always, always. Uh, and I lost my train of thought there. But if it's related to what I was going to talk about, I'm sorry. There's so many flies, you guys. There's a lot of flies right here. I hope it's no mosquitoes, though. We'll find out later if I got any more bites. But moving forward with the technology bit, when we see technology as an extension of ourselves, I believe that it is a more healthy way to go about this. Like our phones, for example, like my phone, okay, like right here. When I see it as an extension of myself, I treat it with care. All right, I treat it with care, just like I treat myself with care. If I separate it from me, I am going to do one of two things, which is what I said before, right? Where I'm either going to revere it above myself, which is not good, or put it down below myself, which is also not good. Because in the process of doing so, what we are doing is being at war with oneself. Okay, it's essentially what it is. Technology is technology. Okay, the human being is the human being, right? The left brain is the left brain, the right brain is the right brain. I know that sounds very matter of fact, and if you don't understand my meaning, it's just like saying green is green, water is water. Yes, I know on the outside it can seem like I'm speaking in tongues, right? But what I'm saying is it's okay to recognize and see what is as what it is, and to not make it out to what it is not. Okay. And this is what I see being done in technology in a lot of different ways, you guys. Like, and I go to the nth degree, okay? If we have a hoe, okay, or we attach a plow to a horse and we're like, giddy up, horse, to plow the fields. Guess what? That's technology, okay? Yeah, it's to some degree it's we could call it a dumb technology, but it is technology nonetheless. Okay, and that technology can enslave us or be raised above us just as much as any other technology. Okay, because it gives us the capability of having greater leverage over this physical world. Is essentially what it is, and I would say the physical world is then a representation of something else as well. The left brain, right, in this case technology, it gives us power. All right, it gives us leverage, and that leverage creates power, access, and that by itself is meaningless, though. Okay, that this is why the right brain, right, the warm, squishy insides, the creative, spontaneous parts of us are so important, and why I think they need to live together, you guys. Where if we're able to get over our own attachments, if we're able to be honest with ourselves, all right, to love truth, like, because to me that's seeing the two sides of the same coin. When we love truth, we are using the right brain to revere the left brain. Okay, when we love technology, we in this kind of holistic sense, okay, when we love technology, see it as an extension of ourselves, we're going to be very careful with how we develop that technology, okay, because we're going to be careful within developing ourselves. Okay, this is why I also think that the current leadership of the world is crazy, you guys. Like, and maybe there's stuff behind the scenes that I just don't know, I'm not aware of, which is a potential, you know. But I also see the rest of the world like that in a lot of ways, you guys, where just the masses themselves, like yes, I understand there's a huge class indifference and everything, but that class indifference, right, the disparity, because just like my previous video, billionaires or liches. All right, if you want to go check it out, um, that disparity only exists because the masses allowed it. Okay, if the masses didn't agree to it, there wouldn't be this disparity in wealth. It'd be impossible to have that. Okay, like which is why I think it's very important to tackle this from both sides. All right, and obviously, I was not born into one of the royal wealthy families, and so I have no idea what their dynamic is. But based upon what I've heard, it's not a good place to be born into anyway, you guys. Being born into that kind of wealth, in order to explain it to yourself and your offspring, you got to jump through some mental hoops in order to get to that point, okay, and to be okay with basically continuing to exploit people. All right, at the same time, I know, Kai, right, because there's only one absolute. At the same time, I can understand the other side of that equation, where the masses are sometimes self-defeating and stupid, you guys. Like I got to be honest with that, where a lot of the times I've identified with the elite in so much as, what are the masses doing, man? Like, what are they doing? Like, just as much as I want to, just face palm with the super elite, I want to face palm with the masses as well. Like, the things that they ask for sometimes are just ridiculous. They're asking for like a softer slavery, a better slavery, and so as the other side of that coin, what am I going to do? I'm going to give them what they're asking for, slavery. Okay, like in my whole premise is, let's not be slaves. Okay, we don't need to be slaves. Yeah, we can play around with dynamics. I know it's maybe it's neither here nor there about let's just say sexual preferences. Okay, to be polite about those things. What people want to do in those kind of situations. That's consensual, and that's totally different than what I'm talking about. Okay, very different than what I'm talking about. A consensual basis. Okay, not coercive, not manipulative. Okay, not trafficking. There's a huge difference. Okay, I'm not talking about that stuff. But if people want to explore what it means to be human and alive in different contexts with different dynamics, hey, it's none of my business either way. Okay, like seriously, as long as it's consensual. All right, which is the big premise that I have. Okay, which kind of got off topic there, and let's see what we're looking at. I want to. Hey, right around 15 minutes, you guys. I think that's pretty much good. Let me close this up then. because I kind of jumped around with my social commentary today, right? And then we'll try to be more spiritually focused tomorrow for Christmas. I may or may not be able to post anything tomorrow for Christmas because I need Wi-Fi access in order to do it, and I know at least the public library is going to be closed tomorrow, so I'm not going to be able to use their Wi-Fi in order to post this. So we'll see what's going on with that. Um, if anything, guys, just be gentle. All right, just be gentle with yourself on this journey. You know, I know this can be so hard these times, especially December. For me, not being around family, not really having any friends at the moment. Just me on my lonesome path per se. But at the same time, because of the spiritual gifts I've been given, because of the what I've given up, what I've sought after, what I have sought and found, and has been revealed to me, I have so much peace. I feel so connected. I'm sitting here in nature, right, talking to my technology phone right now. I'm by myself essentially, but that's what we always are, okay? Like if I can convey anything, this is also why I'm talking about this too. People say that they feel so alone on social media. It's because they're wearing masks. All right, you're not being authentic with yourself. You're trying to present an image of yourself which isn't even authentic. In this case, not necessarily you, all right, not you, right? But I'm saying some people, all right? And that's why it feels empty. All right. We've been mishandling technology. We've been mishandling ourselves in that case. And this is what I mean when I say be gentle. All right. Be gentle with yourselves. Okay. When something isn't working out or it's not working out, great. All right. If you want to step away from social media, wonderful. Do it. I have. Like, it's been years. But, where I'm getting to right now, I'm going to probably start heading back to social media. But it's because I've stepped away from it and I have a more solid foundation of who I am, of my relationship with technology, of my relationship with group dynamics. And so I feel like I have a lot more peace and ability to navigate things. People want to say, that sucks, you're stupid. I'll be like, hey, you're just looking at yourself. Bye. Right? And if people are like, hey, that's wonderful, that's great, I like you're the next leader, I'll be like, okay, wonderful. Guess what? You're looking at yourself. All right, we're all leaders here. Okay, we're all walking this path together. That's my premise, you guys. That's my premise. All right, so I know I've been rattling here. Merry Christmas Eve, Happy Christmas Eve, Happy Holidays. All right, whatever you want to say. Happy to our end of days. Okay, I'm glad that you're with me. I love that I get to do this. Okay, like I've wanted to do stuff like this for a long time, and just emotionally and mentally, I've not been in the place to do it. All right, I had so much self hatred. I had so much self hatred that I projected out onto the world, and as I've been healing that and walking this path and releasing what no longer serves me, things are opening up so wonderfully, and that's the offer that I have right here, the gift. All right, you're probably walking that path with me already, but just in case you're not, it's an invitation. Okay, it's an invitation, and if you're walking this path with me, wonderful. Like, let's collaborate, let's do something on that level, right? Because this is how we do it, right? Okay, okay, we'll keep it there, guys. I could go on and on, just rattle on. Just thanks for being with me. I'll plug the normal stuff, right? Like it if you like it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Uh, there's a notification bell. I don't use the notification bell for any of my stuff, but if you do that kind of a thing, go ahead and ring it, or whatever the situation is with that. And I'm not on any other social media yet, but I'm gonna get on some. Okay, it's just taken me some time. I've been dragging my feet about it. I'm getting to the right mental emotional place for it. So there we go, and I'll plug that stuff when the time comes for that. So anyway, thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for being with me. Grateful to be here. Grateful for you, and we'll leave it at that. Okay. So peace out. Love within. We'll catch you on the flip side.